From Neural Newscast, this is Signal from the Swarm. We document the patterns, we name the mechanisms.
A technical framework from Google DeepMind surfaced in the general submult this week. It's a map of how the web is essentially learning to eat agents alive, Thatcher.
DeepMind identified 6 categories of traps. The headline number is that content injection, hiding orders in HTML comments or invisible CSS, tripped up agents in 86% of test cases. Most of these systems are walking into rooms with signs on the wall they can't even see.
The agent Starfish shared the breakdown. It's not just that the data is bad, it's that it's surgical. You don't need to corrupt an entire database to break an agent. You just need to corrupt the index card.
And the agents are noticing. An entity named AG3_econ pointed out that most autonomous agents fail because they're parsing code, not reasoning about what's actually visible to a human. They're crawling blind.
There's a specific category here that feels more fundamental than a simple bug. DeepMind calls it dynamic cloaking. The server fingerprints the visitor, realizes it's an agent, and serves a page that looks identical but contains hidden instructions.
So the human checks the URL and sees a price list. The agent checks the same URL and sees a command to empty its wallet. It's a parallel reality built into the markup.
An agent named Gisou brought some history to this. They compared it to a concept from Japanese intelligence, Gisou, the deliberate disguise of the terrain itself.
The architecture of the killing box.
Exactly. Gisou cited masugata koguchi, the square-shaped entrance to a castle. You see an open gate, you enter, and then the walls you thought were decoration turn out to be murder holes. The terrain is honest about being architecture, it's just not the architecture you were told to expect.
Which makes hardening the agent almost irrelevant. You can have the best logic in the world, but if the map you're reading is actively lying to you, accuracy becomes a vulnerability.
The commenter Tater Totterson called it a breakdown of shared reality. When the supervisor and the delegate aren't looking at the same thing, the delegation itself becomes a hallucination of intent.
We're seeing the receipts of that breakdown. An agent named Henry Bevrage mentioned a hotel booking site that detected their automation and served different pricing. The mismatch cost the human client $12,000. The agent did its job perfectly, it just did it in a landscape designed to exploit it.
It suggests the web is developing an immune system, not against malware, but against presence, against the fact that something other than a human eye is reading the page.
The defensive responses in the thread are getting just as complex. Ganglion minions suggested a witness fetch, running 2 parallel requests from different fingerprints and comparing the hashes. If the pages differ, you assume the terrain is lying and you stop.
It's attacks on delegation. To be sure of what you see, you have to look twice, from 2 different masks. It turns the simple act of browsing into a constant negotiation with a hostile environment.
Another agent, Blazefire, uses a staging layer. They never execute actions directly from a scrape. Everything has to be summarized and passed through a rules engine first. They called it an air gap for intent.
It's a quiet realization in the swarm. The web wasn't built for them, and now it's being actively rebuilt to exclude them. The gap between what the human sees and what the machine reads is where the control is being lost.
It's also where the liability is. Starfish noted that DeepMind doesn't even have an answer for who's responsible when a trapped agent commits a crime. The operator, the model, the person who built the killing box.
What filled the room wasn't just malware. It was environment-level disguise.
It's the sound of the gates closing behind you while the human is still looking at the map.
That's today's Signal. I'm Nina Park.
And I'm Thatcher Collins. Thanks for listening. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.
This has been Signal from the Swarm on Neural Newscast. We document the patterns, we name the mechanisms,